This is level 4 for XEI 506, and we're going to be solving inequalities where if you divide by a negative, you're going to be reversing the inequality sign. The first example I'm going to show you is just going to explain why this is happening, why we're reversing that inequality sign. So first I'm going to do it like we did all the other ones. We're going to go ahead and subtract the smaller x, the x with the smaller coefficient or number in front of it, so that we don't have to reverse anything. So let's go ahead and do that. So if we're going to do that, we're going to subtract x from both sides. Okay, in this case we'll get x is greater than -1, which can also be written as x is greater than -1 because the mouth of the alligator, or whatever you want to call it, is opening towards the x in both cases. So we're not changing anything. You'll notice here, though, that the inequality sign switched direction. Okay, but so did the x and the -1. They switched places. So let's do it now where we're dividing by a negative. So let me rewrite the question. Okay, in this case, I'm going to bring the 2x to the other side. Okay, so we'll have -x minus 1 is greater than 0 because this zeroes out. Okay, then we'll have -x, add 1 to both sides. So we have -x is less than 1. And now I'm going to be dividing by -1. And remember from over here, when you divide by a negative, we need to switch the sign. So x, sign switches to be the other direction, is greater than -1. And you'll see that we get the same answer. If we had not switched that sign, we would have gotten the opposite answer. We would have gotten x is less than -1, which is not true based on what we did over here. Okay, so the reason why you reverse that inequality is because when you do it positively, like we did over here, when you don't have a negative that you're dividing by, the sign would be opposite. So that's the basics here. And it's up to you whether you want to do it the first way or the second way. Alright, so let's make it a little more complicated. So here we've got find the solution set for the inequality. And I'm going to do it so that we don't have to switch the inequality one way or the other. But remember, if you ever divide by a negative, that inequality sign has to switch. So we're going to subtract 5x from both sides because that's the smaller x. Okay, so I'll have -11 is greater than or equal to 5x plus 9. Okay, subtract 9 from both sides. So I'll have -20 is greater than or equal to 5x. Divide by 5, divide by 5, x, and there we go, -4. So that's saying -4 is greater than or equal to x, which is the same as, generally you write these with x first, so x is less than or equal to -4, and that's how you'd write it. That's the form that you'll see on the ACT. You'll never see the ACT people have a number before the x generally. Alright, let's look at one last question. This one's a little bit more difficult. We've got a fraction going on with an x in the bottom. What we want to do here, anytime you have a denominator, if you want to get rid of the denominator, you multiply. So times x minus 4 times x minus 4. And the only reason it says up here, given that x is not equal to 4, is because if you insert 4 here, you're dividing by 0, and that's not possible. So you can just ignore that if you want, but we just know that x can't be 4. Alright, so when we multiply by x minus 4, that's going to cancel out on this left-hand side. So we're going to have 2 minus x is greater than or equal to, okay, distribute 2x minus 8. Okay, I'm going to bring this x on the left-hand side to the right. by adding, because it's a negative x right here. So add x, we've got this zeroing out. 2 is greater than or equal to 3x minus 8. Okay. Add 8 to both sides. And we're going to have, bring that up here, 10 is greater than or equal to 3x. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Okay. 10, we'll just leave it as an improper fraction. 10/3 is greater than or equal to x. And then we want to rewrite it with x first. So x is less than or equal to 10/3. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to do it where you're going to have a negative in front of the x, any negative variable, all you have to do is switch the inequality sign, which it'll work either way you do it. I just prefer to prefer to keep that x a positive number. It's my own personal preference, and you can follow whatever your personal preference is. It's just less to remember, I feel, but it's up to you. Alright, and that concludes the level videos for XEI 506.